Hey, this is Chantel Girardi from Online Business Marketing, and today I'm going to share with you the ultimate guide for using Zoom for business in 2024. I'm going to go over some features, the setup, some pricing, and integration tips. Why? Because as I see my clients throughout the week, and that is for collaborations, for partnerships, and also for coaching training, as well as team training with my staff. Whenever this happens, there's always like, what's that? And where's this? And how do I find that? And, oh, I didn't even know that existed. So I thought, what a great way is to just go in and have a look at all the new features in 2024 as it stands, and hoping that some of these are going to be new to you. What I can say is, especially if you've done the latest update, you will notice that there is quite a lot of new stuff that has been added, as well as, of course, a lot of AI tools. So I am going to speak on that today too. So I think Zoom's become one of those indispensable business tools that people have. And although you can use things like Microsoft Teams or Google Meet, I must say that I think that just across the board, it seems like Zoom is the most popular platform that I seem to come across. In fact, when I get invited to Microsoft Teams, it's always an issue getting in. Whenever I go to Google Meet, it's like, how does this work? And I suppose that's because I use Zoom in my business, so I'm a lot more familiar with it. However, I am familiar with the others, but I do believe that Zoom is probably the most preferred platform, and the most user-friendly, certainly one that we all use the most. Do you remember the days when it first came out and there was this thing about you had to have a green screen? I remember having to buy this massive green screen thing and then had to iron it so that you didn't have the creases in it, so that you couldn't have your background. And actually, we should probably chat GPT it and find out how long ago that was, because it probably was like not even that long ago. Like in our minds, it feels like that was forever. But how far has Zoom come since then, that you can see I've got my background blurred at the moment. You can see Daryl over here. He's got a background that he's put in, a branded background that he's included in his. And then even like Alison over here, we've got, being able to see her office space at the back. How far has it come? Even now with the mirroring. I went online with somebody last week and it was mirrored. Their words were backwards and they were like, how do I do that? I said, you simply just tick a little box and it will turn it around. And therefore you're now mirroring it and you can actually then read whatever's behind you so that it's now not backwards. I mean, how advanced has it become? So what can we use Zoom for? Well, we can use it for Zoom virtual meetings like this, where we can have one-on-one consults or group meetings with either your team, your clients, or your partners, regardless of location. In fact, even when I have one-on-one appointments in person at my office space, I will often still put on Zoom and have Zoom at my table while I'm consulting, so that they can still do the recording and the transcription for me, so that I have that recording and they don't miss out. There is also a webinar feature. And let me tell you this, I'm on the Zoom Pro platform and I run webinars, and I do it on the meeting platform. I don't do it through webinars. So you can run webinars. You do have to upgrade. But as I said, I'm still currently on the Zoom Pro and I'm just using meetings to run my webinars at the moment. Number 3 is online workshops and training. So you can provide interactive training sessions or workshops for your employees or customers. And we learned this during COVID. I used to run these full day content workshops. And I remember when COVID came, we had to do the whole thing online. And everybody could be at home. We could run a whole content workshop through the computer, have it recorded, and then break it up, use it for content posting, use it for further promotion, use it for further training. It was just absolutely amazing. And did you know that every single one of my online courses has been created through Zoom? So I have presented either to myself or presented to a live audience. I've taken the audio and I've taken the video and I've created that and made those into online courses. So super easy. You can also use it for customer support. So with the other business that we work with, OBM Hub, should my manager need to offer a customer support session to one of the customers, they can quickly just jump onto a Zoom and they can do a training where you can share each other's screens, see what's going on, and we can even give them the recording so that they don't need to that if they forget about it, they can still access that recording or that help. And then for internal collaboration as well. So for example, we do it for our team. I do it for my systems and processes. If we want to go over a system and process or go over a funnel or a lead generation or with my team, or we do some training, all of that gets recorded. It all gets downloaded so that we can utilize that again for team training, which is super cool. I know, for example, I've got a lawyer that I work with, and when his virtual assistant first came in, I trained them in marketing. I think about 8 months later, that VA left. He ended up getting a new marketing manager, but all he had was all the video recordings that he was able to give to her and say, this is how you start. This is your onboarding. This is the training that you've got to do. And he still gets me to come in and do one final session with them at the end. So let's just talk about the pricing options as of August 2024. So you've got your basic platform, which many people are still using, and that includes 40 minutes free meetings of up to 100 participants. I'm personally on the Pro, which is about $14.99 monthly, $14.99 monthly. Unlimited meeting duration, up to 100 participants, and 1 gigabyte of cloud recording. Now, for me, because I do so many strategy sessions during the course of the week, so many masterclasses and trainings, I have upgraded and I've bought an extra gigabyte of cloud recording, meaning that because we have so much getting recorded to the cloud, I just want to be able to give myself, my team, and my clients enough time to be able to go in there and download the content before it disappears. Because once it disappears from Zoom, it disappears. Then you've got the business platform, which is $19.99 per month, and that supports up to 300 participants and gives you advanced administrative controls and dedicated phone support. I must say, when they did change this, that was one of the things where I was like, I'm on the Pro, maybe I should go to business, because you do get the phone support, because they did make that part of the next level up. However, I just fill in the little chat bar and I say, email me back, and I always get an email back within 24 hours. So even though I don't have phone support, the email support I find has been really good for myself. So as of yet, I haven't had the need to actually upgrade to business. And then you've got enterprise as well, which is for large businesses, which can have up to 500 participants, unlimited cloud storage, and you've got advanced features. So setting up your Zoom, I'm just going to go through some of the basics, because to tell you the truth, most of you would have set it up already. So there's no need to go over this for so long. But I do recommend that when you are setting these sorts of things up, that you do it on a desktop. But you want to make sure that you first start with your free account, you register it, you install the Zoom application on your desktop and on your mobile. Make sure you've got it on both. And then you would straight away go in and go to schedule a meeting, where you can set the date, set the time, and set your preferences for even reoccurring meetings or once-off meetings. And there's also an option there for you to personalize your meeting ID as well. Just something that I do, I've got my personal meeting ID. My clients have access to my personal meeting ID, which means if they come to our masterclasses, come to our breathwork sessions, need to quickly jump on a call with me, that they will use my personal meeting ID. However, if they are booking their strategy sessions and their coaching sessions, those will be done through our online booking system, which generates a different Zoom meeting ID every time, but it will send it to you in a calendar invite. Now, you might be going, why? Why do you do that? Because some people just use their personal meeting ID. And I'll tell you why. Because if every single person has your personalized meeting ID and they are clicking in it throughout the day to test it, which happens all the time, I'm constantly getting people that are trying to come into my room while my meeting or my room whilst I'm trying to do it. So I like to have my clients, my trusted network with that for dedicated times, but I do like the random ones to be generated each time for their appointments, so we don't get interrupted, so that other people aren't clicking on the link and trying to come in. When does this happen a lot? With daylight savings in Australia, because with all our states and daylight savings, we've got 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 3 hours between the states, and people get their meetings muddled up at the changeover time. And when that happens, everybody's trying to jump into your meeting, which is very disruptive. So let's talk about some of the key features on Zoom. Well, number one is the chat feature, almost like the little messenger one. You can have group or private chats. It's really important that when you are chatting to someone in the group, you push the little drop down arrow. You want to make sure that if I just want to send a message to Alison and go, hey, Alison, you're looking mighty sexy today, I want to make sure that I'm only sending it to Alison and the whole community didn't get that. So before you push send, do make sure that you are sending it to the person you want to send it to, or are aware of the fact that you are sending it to everyone, or are aware of the fact that you may be sending it to the admin as well. In the chat box, you can also do file sharing, which is awesome. So, for example, I could upload something into the chat box, and then you would be able to download it. And you can also access past conversations and shared files through the searchable chat history. And you can download the chat. So if you wanted to, so if you're running a networking group and people were introducing themselves and making connections and sharing contacts, you could go into that and you could simply just download the chat at the end, so that therefore you could go back and have everybody's details. You wouldn't lose them. So number two is the AI features. Okay, so you may have noticed if you wiggle your little cursor down at the bottom, there's a little tab called AI Companion. And it is a virtual assistant that can help you with scheduling, note-taking, and even provide insights during the meeting. So I'm going to encourage you, if there's nothing that you do after the session, I'm going to encourage you to do this one thing, and that is just have a Zoom meeting with yourself and go and test out a whole bunch of these things that I'm talking about today, but definitely go and have a look at that new AI companion. Now, automated transcription. So Zoom AI transcribes meetings in real time, making it easier to revisit and review important discussions. Now, for myself personally, I pay for Otter AI transcription. I have connected it to my Zoom and I get my transcriptions through that. I don't know why I don't use the Zoom one, but I just love the Otter one so much that I'm just happy to pay for it and happy to use it because it gives me my takeaway and everything. So if you use Zoom transcription and can tell me why it's better than Otter AI, convince me, let me know. I'm more than happy to listen. Number three is background noise suppression. So AI actually minimizes the background noise. So previously, when my dog used to bark in the background, because the poster used to always come, at the same time that I hold these meetings, that's the time for the dog to get up off the couch and have a good bark. And before, I'd have to mute or apologize, but now it actually has noise suppression and will automatically back that noise off, and ensure a clear audio experience. And it does exactly the same for auto enhancing of video as well. It automatically enhances the video quality so that you look your best on camera. So number three in key features on Zoom is going live on social media. Now this one over here is super cool. You literally can go down to the little bar down at the bottom and go to live streaming. And when you do that, it will ask you where you want to stream to. And then it'll take you through the process of connecting everything. So you can connect your Facebook or your YouTube or your Instagram. And the benefit of that is you're now recording it. You're now recording it on Zoom and it is now going through. One thing that I have learned is you are live before you think you're live. So if you just wanted to adjust your boobs or, do something literally a second before you're live, note that it is already recording and already live streaming to those channels, and you're already being seen. So as soon as I push that button, I know that it is, you think that it's not live streaming yet, but it is. So make sure that you're sitting there or at least going hi or doing something. Something acceptable. Number four is being able to customize your name, your audio, and your video settings. So you can have an entirely customized experience with what you do. So for your name, and this is happens a lot for a lot of the coaches that I work with that are in the medical or wellness space, where people come onto Zoom meetings and they actually want to turn off their cameras so they're not being seen, and they want to change their name so that they are anonymous. So they will make up another name or just put their initials in there, and then they'll turn off their video and they'll change their name, and then they'll also mute themselves so they're completely anonymous, however, still live in the meeting. And as I said, when you're doing group meetings, and there's and this content that might be a little bit sensitive or private, you may wish to do that. And a lot of coaches I work with in a group format have to do that for their members. And they'll actually send their members instructions on how to do that so that they feel confident attending a group session. So you can change your name. And just be aware of how much it sees, because a lot of networking groups will say, put in your first name, your second name, and then your business name and your industry. And I'm like, you actually can't see it. You can only see like the first 2 to 3 words. So make sure that you utilize the first 2 to 3 words the best. In your audio settings, which is down your left-hand side in the up arrow. So if ever you can't find anything, wiggle your cursor, find the bar down at the bottom or up at the top, and then look for 3 dots, look for up arrows and touch them, and these features will all be hidden behind there. So you've got your audio settings where you can test and adjust your microphone and your speakers, and you can also choose your camera, adjust your lighting, and enable HD video to enhance your video quality too. Now, there are also some super cool video filters that you can use, and they are hidden under the video up arrow. So again, you'll see the little video with a little up arrow, click that, and it will say to you, choose video filters. When you go in there, there'll be cool things like makeup, and bunny ears and a whole bunch of other things. And whenever I'm working with mums and perhaps they've got their kids on their laps, I often will just put on a filtered background or whatever, so the child can be a little bit engaged or interested in what's going on while I'm coaching the parent. I have tried the makeup feature because many of you know I like to keep it as al natural as possible. But it can be a little bit funny. I mean, it's really good, but it can be funny when you suddenly, there we go, Alison, when you suddenly move and your lips are still over here, and then you move and your lips are still over here. So I just think, you know what, if I'm not wearing makeup, I'm not wearing makeup. It's all good. But just know that you can go and play with that feature and see what's behind them. So number 5 is virtual backgrounds. So you can create your custom backgrounds. So you can choose from Zoom's preset backgrounds, and they've actually got like still backgrounds and they've got video backgrounds as well. So you would see like the Hawaii one with all the trees and stuff happening in the background. And that Zoom already has preset ones that you can go in and choose from, or you can upload your own ones. So for example, a platform like Canva, you can go into Canva, create design, it'll say Zoom background, and it'll give you hopefully the right size. Sometimes it can be a little bit off. And what I encourage you to do is just remember that you're generally going to be in the center. So if you want to have QR codes, websites, or logos, keep everything to your sides over here, and don't worry about having to reverse it, because there is that little box that says mirror my video. Tick that box and everything will come out the right way. It won't be backwards. And then, of course, it's got the blurred background feature. Now, I absolutely love this because especially if I'm presenting sort of from about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I always face this way. I don't face the other way. I don't know why, but I've always faced this. I think because at least is a better view. Thanks, Alison. Alison's our live demo model today, showing us everything. Thank you for playing. And when my daughters are here and they want to go hang up washing, they'd be known to crawl, crawl under the floor and come out the other side, because they don't want to be seen. Now I've got the blurred feature on, and they're absolutely happy just to walk past in the background with their washing to go hang it up outside. So you don't have to worry about, the naked person doing a run behind you. So number 6 is talking about changing screen views. Now this is at your on a desktop. This is at your top right-hand corner where you see a square with a whole bunch of little squares and it says view. You've got your gallery view versus your speaker view. So right now, I mean, what I'm looking at is I like to look at a gallery view because that way I can see everyone that I'm presenting to. And as I'm recording this right now, it should be recording in speaker's view. And it just will display who's talking at the time or who you want featured or whether or not you want everyone there. Now, in 2024, and we can thank ChatGPT for this because I asked ChatGPT to give me the new things for 2024. They have a new immersive view. So if you go to the top right corner and you go to view and you click on that button, as you go down, you'll find there's an immersive one. And if I click immersive, If I click immersive, I'm just going to try and see. I haven't done this before, so let's just wing it. That's really weird. It's put us in chairs. So I hope you can see what I'm seeing at the moment. But it's taken us and put us into chairs. I don't know how I feel about that yet. Um, I think I think I prefer the there we go, the gallery view for now. But it is important just to see what is going on, what different ones are there. I'll just see if there's another one that we can use. Let's try this one here. Okay, so it seems to work better if you've got a blurred background, I think. Yeah, so it's just don't know how I feel about that one, but give it a go. Um, All right, so number 7 is the whiteboard feature. Now, the whiteboard feature I absolutely love because it has an interactive whiteboard where you can go in, I can brainstorm, I can mind map, I can draw, and I can collaborate in real time. Meaning if I'm having a one-on-one consult with Alison right now, Alison can go and she can actually change my document, I can change my document, and then we can save that document so that at the end of our coaching sessions together, I will email our recording, so our video recording to Alison for her to download. I'll email her the auto transcription of all our notes and takeaways. So she's got the words. And then on top of it, I can go, here's a whiteboard as well. Here's the whiteboard that we created that we can send through to you too. So absolutely love the whiteboard feature as well. And you, as I said, you can save those. You can share those, save them, you can share them. I've got mine saved on my computer and they get saved by the person's name of the appointment, so I can go in and find them, which is awesome. So number 8 is talking about avatars and reactions. So you can have a custom avatar, and I haven't played with this one just yet, but if you go down to, I think it was underneath, no, it's not. It's underneath video, so it's under the up arrow for video, and you can go in and you can choose an avatar for yourself. So not sure about these avatars, but let's just see. And there's my Alison, and there's my avatar. So I suppose if you want to keep the engagement up in your group, you may wish to include these. And as I said, they are just hiding underneath the video up arrow. Reactions down at the bottom, it's now a heart. So if you have done the recent Zoom upgrade, it says react and it's a heart down in the bottom scroll bar. And if you click onto that, isn't just thumbs up anymore. You can also put rockets and balloons and other reactions, as well as raising your hand as well, and you can lower it, which is cool. So I can just put a little heart there if I want. So it's just about getting people to engage in what we're doing. So there we go, just adding a little bit of excitement, making it more engaging. So I think it's important for us to know that it's important for us to understand these features and then work out how we're going to use them in our presentations to further engage our audience. It's the same as emojis, though, on social media. You don't want to overdo it. I'm not a big fan of overdoing things, but there is a place for it. So say, for example, you wanted everyone to clap, then you could go in and you could, put in the clapping emoji. If you wanted people to put thumbs up, you could put thumbs up emoji up in there. So I wouldn't overuse them, but there's definitely a place for them. So I think you should be aware of where they are and what that place is. It is also a good way then for you to ask your members if anybody has anything. Before, you'd have to wait on the gallery for everyone to put up their hand. Now you can just wait for people to actually put up their virtual thumb, and then you can go through everybody and answer their questions. So number 9 is themes and timers. So this is up at the top right-hand corner now under the view. So if you go under the view over there, you'll see that there's custom themes. So you can change the themes, and I've just put mine on agave, which is almost like a turquoise background. But what Alison was saying is she can't see it, so therefore I can only see it, which means it's only a feature I can see. But you can also set your meeting wallpaper as well. So I think it's just about helping us to spend more time online as well. And then when it comes to meeting timers, I've turned my meeting timer up on the top, and I thought this is kind of great because it kind of gives you context as to how much longer you have left in a meeting as well. So you do have your meeting duration and timer app as well up at the top, which is pretty cool. Number 10 is closed captioning. So you can enable captions, which I think is at the bottom right-hand corner under CC, showing captions. And in there, you can enable them during a meeting. It helps with accessibility. And all you have to do is select live transcript. Then you can have customizable captions as well, where you can adjust the size of the captions and choose whether or not they're going to appear for all participants or just for specific users. So number 11 is background noise management and playing sound. So as I mentioned earlier, there is background noise management, which is under audio. So bottom left up arrow, you can go in and you can see your audio settings over there. You can also then go in and play, because of the noise suppression, if you've then got music in the background and you're trying to play a reel and you want them to listen to the reel or the music, they can't because of the background noise suppression. So you've got to turn that off in order to do that. So additional recommendations for Zoom. As I said, in the old days, you'd have to buy a massive screen and the poles to hold the screen up, the green screen and the poles at the back, and you'd need a ring light and you'd need a camera, and then you'd need like a microphone. I don't use anything. I'm using my Mac laptop computer. I actually have a camera, but I don't use it because I found that when I was moving, even though it was the best one, well, I think the second best one that you should have, I found that when I moved from side to side and I was too fast, or it wouldn't keep up with me. So I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to do this. And then for a microphone in that, I do have a headset. So if the kids are home, or if I am out camper vanning and there's a lot of noise and I'm getting distracted by the outside noise, then I will put my headset on and do it. But if you go to YouTube or wherever you're listening to this from right now, I'm going to say that it's probably okay. The volume's okay for you and you're happy with it, which means there's no real need for a headset. But I always have them around just in case I do need to use one for whatever reason. You do then also need to go into your audio settings and make sure that you've got the external headset attached, because I've done that before and suddenly it wouldn't work and I was like, what is going on? So you will have to play with your audio settings then. All right. So your personalized Zoom meeting ID, in order to be able to go and personalize that Zoom meeting ID, you can customize it with numbers that are easy to remember or associated with your business. So mine's like a 613 something number, 515 or whatever. And mine actually, I think when I did it, mine actually said Facebook. So it's like Zoom and then it's like /Facebook if you actually look at the calculator. I can't remember. I'll have to double check that though. And I quite like the numbers. But I have recently seen somebody with a personalized Zoom /us/ and their name. And I have sent in a request to find out how to do that. And I've tried to do a bit of YouTubing to work out how. I would imagine maybe you've got to be on an enterprise or business plan in order to be able to have that. But that would be super cool. If I could actually have a Word Zoom meeting ID, I'd be over the moon for that. So let's talk about Zoom recording features. Well, you've got local recording versus cloud recording. So there was no way that I could have all my Zoom recordings being recorded onto my laptop. There is no way that I would have the storage for that. I would have to have a USB or a hard drive or something attached to it. So instead, as I said, I pay for additional cloud recording storage. And I think that they stay available in the cloud for 30 days. So we send them out to our clients. Our clients need to download them, not view them. In our T's and C's, it says download the recording, because then you have the recording. So when Zoom deletes it from the cloud, we cannot get access to that again. It is gone. You can also decide whether or not you just want to have the audio. For example, if you wanted to use it for podcasts, you could just have the audio, or you could have the video and as well. So you can decide what you want for that. And once the meeting is closed, it normally takes about half an hour for a 1 hour meeting. I'll get an email to say, here we go, here is your download, or I can actually just log into Zoom and I can search for all my recordings as well. We do have to make sure that they are titled, because if they're not titled, I can't see them. So what we do is all our client sessions are titled so that a virtual assistant can straight away at the end of the day go and email them out to everybody. There is no automatic feature, because I thought if Alison books an appointment and Alison has the meeting, surely it makes sense to just automatically email her the recording at the end, but they don't. It's a manual process that we have to do, which is a bit frustrating. So I'm hoping that that's something that they will change. So what about appointment calendars and Zoom? So with things like I use a Gmail calendar. Automatically Gmail will straight away have a Google Meet link there. I often forget to click the cross, to click that out, and then to add the Zoom link into the description or into the title of the meeting when I'm doing manual appointments, when I'm booking manual appointments. But when I use a platform like OBM Hub, or if you use a platform like Calendly, you can straight away just attach it to your Zoom and it will automatically generate either your personal meeting ID. You'll have a choice. Do you want your personal one for every meeting, or do you want a random one? As I said, I've explained why I do both differently. So it'll generate the links, it'll add it to the calendar booking system, and then when you add it to your calendar, straight away you can go in there and use that meeting ID. And of course, you should have Zoom meeting reminders that come from Zoom as well to let you know that your meeting is coming up. So that is Zoom. Zoom in 2024 with all its new features and capabilities. And I encourage you, if you haven't, as I said, gone in and played with all these new features, go and touch every single button. Just log into Zoom by yourself and have a 20-minute play. It's now at the top right-hand corner as of August 2024 with the new update. Top right-hand corner, you've got features there to look at. Bottom bar, you've got features over there. When it comes to on your mobile, I must say, I feel like it could be easier to use on your mobile. I feel like it's really hard to find the mute and the video and you've actually got to swipe left and right. It's kind of like an online dating platform. It's a little bit finicky on a phone. I mean, you can do it, but it is difficult. So I would like to see Zoom working out a way where on your phone it's a little bit more user-friendly, or a little bit more, they make it easier and more accessible on your phone. Because I feel like it's a little bit awkward on your phone. But that is it for today. For those of you who are watching the recording right now, if you are struggling, if you or your marketing team are struggling with your online marketing and you're looking for clarity, you're looking for direction, you're looking for certainty, and you're looking for somebody to handhold you through the process of setting up your marketing and teaching you how to manage it, I'm Chantal Girardi from Online Business Marketing. We're now going to go to our live audience.